Hi bourbon friends. Today we're going to jump into the world of High West. We're going to look at the new Midwinter Night's Dram Act 12 compared to the Midwinter Night's Dram Act 11 and talk about what I determine is the differences, if any. So hold on, let's go. So I was able to get my hands on the new Act 12 High West and Midwinter Night's Dram, and I haven't really seen a lot of reviews out there on it, so I wanted to maybe jump ahead and get you guys prepared for this bottle to hit the shelves. I just want to crack these open, do a pour, and let's talk about the differences. But first of all, what is Midwinter Night's Dram? High West is a blender. They're starting to do their own distillate, but they source from MGP also. And so what you'll get in a Midwinter Night's Dram is their own rye, which is their Rendezvous rye. So what you're going to get in this bottle is their Rendezvous rye, and added to it is the MGP rye. Now I know a lot of people, when they hear MGP, there's like this recoil, but believe me, it's good. It's really good. So the MGP is 95% rye with a 5% malted barley. The High West distillate that they put in is a 80% rye and a 20% malted barley. So those are the differences. And again, the rye that they're putting in the aging barrels is their Rendezvous rye. So what really kind of turns this rye on is the fact that they're using port barrels. They're using a ruby port and a tawny port barrel to age. And so what that does is that gives the rye a lot of fruit notes. Those ruby and tawny ports are very fruit forward. And a lot of that fruit comes through on the tasting notes of a Midwinter Night's Dram. So expect a lot of fruit. You're going to get the spice from the rye. It's just a really, really good bottle. And so let's start with the 12. Let's see what the 12 has to offer. Good cork pop. We'll pour that out, and then I'm going to go ahead and pour the 11 as well. I've actually got a couple of bottles of this. Okay, let's start with the Midwinter Night's Dram Act 12. A sweet oak is what I get on the nose. Yeah, I want to say like a cherry apple or maybe a cherry cola. Very pleasant, very nice nose, not overpowering, not a lot of ethanol. This is 98.6 proof, both bottles. You know, for a Pennsylvania style rye, it's got a lot of sweetness, and I think that's that port finishing. Caramel, vanilla, Maybe a little chocolate. Oak on the finish, not on the initial. Mid palate for me is kind of confusing because there's so much going on. Spice, but it's not a heavy spice. It's not an in-your-face spice bomb. It's spice is mostly on the finish. Pepper, light cinnamon, but it's sweet as well. Very, very pleasant finish. Let me rinse with some water. And let's try some Act 11. Wow, they're very close, very similar. There's not a ton of difference. Oak, some chocolate, cherry, dark chocolate. Dark chocolate, it's a dark chocolate finish with some oak. I'd say the finish is probably the biggest difference. The Act 12 is a little brighter, maybe a little sweeter. If you look at the color, I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but this is a little lighter in color. The 12 is a little lighter in color than the 11. These are aged, what are they aged? 5 to 7 years. So maybe this one wasn't as aged as long as this one, which is giving it a little more of those darker flavors. Yeah, the 11 is a little more complex. You get some pepper, some pepper oak, dark fruit, vanilla more than caramel. I'm gonna have to pour a little bit more into the 12. The 12, I'm getting a little more ethanol, but this is basically a neck pour, so this bottle hasn't really been opened up a lot, so I wouldn't give that any credence. Yeah. Brighter, darker, more oak on the finish, more, I would say, chocolate on the finish on 11. Yeah, they're pretty similar. I mean, you really have to look for the nuances and the and the differences. Highly recommend either one of these. The thing that disappoints me about the 12 is that they raised the price. They went up to, I think, $145. This was, I think, like $125. So I would say don't go out of your way to get this. If you can get this at $125, it's just as good as this. If you're a collector, then of course you're going to want to get both. But I would say that's the only downfall of the Act 12 is that the price is higher, and they both come through, both a really good rye. And I'm starting, like, rye's making a comeback, guys. I'm telling you right now, they're the sleeper in the spirits world. They're good, they're complex, they got a lot of flavor. Anyways, as always, stay safe, drink responsibly, have fun, go find some friends, crack open some bottles, and sit around, have good conversation, and drink responsibly.